All right, so we've got a really strange one today. We're going to be diving into the deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa.
Oh, wow.
And, everyone's probably seen the headlines by now, but we're really going to go deeper here.
Okay.
Using this article here called Scattered Pills Found Near Body of Hackman's Wife as Inquiry Continues.
Oh.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, it is a weird situation, right? Because on the one hand, you've got the sheriff saying there's no signs of foul play.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, there's all these details like pills and a space eater and...
Oh, yeah. And her hands and feet.
Yeah. Betsy Arakawa's hands and feet were mummified.
Yeah. That's got to be important, right?
Yeah, there's a lot to figure out.
Yeah. So let's start with when they were found.
Okay.
So a maintenance worker went to their house in Santa Fe and knocked on the door. No answer.
Right.
So he contacted security.
Right.
And they looked through a window and they saw that it was time to call 911. I see. Yeah, that's an important detail, isn't it? Like they could see something was wrong just from looking through the window.
Right, yeah.
So it wasn't like some big thing that happened outside, It was something that happened inside.
Right.
Out of sight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so then when the deputies got there,
Yeah.
they found Betsy in the bathroom.
Okay.
And there were scattered pills, and the space heater was in there. Gene was in the mudroom, and they both had been dead for a while, like the same amount of time.
Okay.
And then there was a dead dog near Betsy and two other dogs that were alive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not a good scene.
No, it's not. But hold on now, before we jump to conclusions about those pills.
Okay.
We got to think about that space heater.
Okay.
Yeah, mummification, like what happened to Betsy's hands and feet. That usually happens when it's really dry and the body dries out super fast.
Okay.
Like how grapes turn into raisins.
Okay.
So could that space heater have made it like a desert in there? Especially if the bathroom door was closed?
So you're saying that the space heater might be more important than we think?
It's possible, yeah.
Okay. And what about that dead dog near Betsy?
Yeah, you mentioned the dogs. You know how animals act can be really helpful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you think that dog was trying to protect her? Or could the other dogs tell us something about what happened before they died?
Oh, wow.
Maybe they were barking or acting weird, trying to get someone's attention.
Yeah.
But nobody noticed because Gene and Betsy like to keep to themselves.
That's true. And, Gene Hackman was kind of a prankster.
Yeah, he was known for that.
Yeah, even in Santa Fe, he liked his privacy.
Well, could that explain anything about what they found? Like maybe there was something that looked out of place, but it was just a joke.
Oh.
And then somehow it turned into an accident.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's something to consider.
Yeah, for sure. And we're still waiting on the autopsy and toxicology reports.
Right.
So it's hard not to think about all the possibilities.
Definitely.
Yeah, Gene Hackman, he had this whole Hollywood career, but he chose to live a quiet life with Betsy in Santa Fe.
Right.
And she had a home decor business there, and they just kind of kept to themselves.
That makes it even more complicated, doesn't it? Because if something did happen, how long were they there before anyone found them?
Right.
And could that have messed things up for the investigation?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like a puzzle, and we're trying to put all the pieces together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really makes you think, even in a place that seems so peaceful and quiet,
Yeah.
things can go wrong.
Yeah, and we're left trying to figure out how.
Exactly.
Okay, so while we're waiting for those reports,
Yeah.
let's look at some other stuff from the article.
Okay.
It says that Gene was found in the mudroom, fully dressed with a cane and sunglasses next to him. It's like he just collapsed.
Well, that's really important. That could mean it was something sudden, like a heart attack or a stroke.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Could that be connected to what happened to Betsy in the bathroom?
You mean like one thing led to the other?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. Betsy, maybe she had some kind of medical problem in the bathroom.
Maybe with the pills.
Right, maybe. And Gene hears something and runs in to help her.
Yeah.
And then he has his own medical emergency because he's stressed or pushing himself too hard.
Wow, that's a scary thought.
It is.
But it would explain why they were found in different rooms.
Right.
But what about the pills, though? Were they prescription or something else? The article doesn't really say.
Well, that's why we need that toxicology report. It'll tell us what was in their systems and if it had anything to do with their deaths. Could be an accidental overdose or a bad reaction to some medicine, or it could be something totally different.
Yeah, there are a lot of things we just don't know.
Right.
Even little things could be important, like Gene's cane and sunglasses. Why would he have those inside? Was he about to go out? Did something happen really fast and stop him?
Well, those are the kinds of things investigators look at, you know? They try to understand the person's routine, their habits, what they were doing in their last moments.
Yeah.
And sometimes those little details can be the key to solving the whole thing.
Speaking of solving things, what about the 2 dogs that were still alive?
Yeah.
Do you think they could tell us anything?
It's definitely possible. Dogs are really good at picking up on things.
Oh, yeah.
Like changes in their environment or how their owners are acting, things we might not even notice. So maybe they saw something or tried to get help.
Yeah, maybe they were barking like crazy or acting weird.
Right, but no one was around to notice because they live such a private life.
It's sad to think about.
It is. And it shows you how living so isolated can be a problem, you know? Privacy and peace are great, but if something happens, you might not be able to get help.
Yeah, it's like you have to find a balance between wanting to be alone and needing other people.
Exactly. And in this case, maybe wanting to be alone is part of why it took so long for anyone to find them.
So we have this Hollywood legend who wanted a quiet life, a talented artist who liked her privacy.
Yeah.
And then this awful thing happens behind closed doors.
And we're waiting for more information to come out. But we can't forget that this is more than just a mystery to solve.
Right.
These were real people with lives and loves and things they did that matter.
Yeah, you're right. It's easy to get caught up in trying to figure it all out. But we can't forget that this is a real tragedy.
Exactly. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were more than just names in the news.
Yeah, so as we finish up this deep dive, let's focus on remembering them.
Okay.
Let's celebrate Gene Hackman's life and work. He was an amazing actor who gave us so many great characters.
Yeah, and Betsy Arakawa too, you know? The artist, the businesswoman who lived that quiet life with him.
It reminds you that everyone leaves a mark on the world.
Yeah, even if they try to stay out of the spotlight. Okay, so let's sum this all up. We started with this really strange headline.
This house that seemed peaceful, but turned into this really sad scene.
Yeah.
Pills a space heater mummified, remains a dead dog, and 2 dogs that survived.
It's just a lot.
It is, and we've talked about a bunch of different possibilities like an accidental overdose or a medical emergency.
Right.
But we still don't know for sure.
And we might never know. You know, those reports are really important.
Right.
But even then, we might still have questions.
That's how it is with these kinds of mysteries. We can look at all the details and try to figure it all out,
Right.
but sometimes we'll never know the whole story.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that we shouldn't jump to conclusions just from headlines or what people are saying.
Exactly. Wait for the facts.
And remember that this is about real people. You know, we're interested in the mystery, but there's a family and a whole community that's hurting.
That's true.
So to everyone listening, we encourage you to look past the headlines. Go watch some of Gene Hackman's movies.
Yeah.
Read his books. Look at Betsy Arakawa's art. Get to know them and what they left behind. And if you're interested in how these investigations work, there's so much to learn.
Yeah, look into forensic science and criminal justice and how people solve real-life mysteries.
It's really fascinating.
Before we go, we want to leave you with one last thing. Why do you think these mysteries, these real-life whodunits, are so interesting to us? Is it about wanting justice? Do we just need to understand things that don't make sense?
It's a good question.
Or maybe it's about our own lives. You know, it's a reminder that life is unpredictable.
That's true.
It can change in an instant.
Maybe the answer's different for everyone.
Yeah, it depends on what you've been through, what you believe in, and how much you're interested in things you don't understand.
But one thing's for sure, we all want to understand things.
Yeah.
We want to solve the mysteries of life and death.
And that keeps us searching and learning and trying to find the truth.
Exactly.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a new topic.
Sounds good.
But until then, stay curious.